Hello, everyone. My name is Kwame, aka Yao, aka the person delivering this message to you. And the amount of times I've had to do this video has absolutely pissed me off. But we're gonna go ahead and keep finishing it. Literally, as soon as I press this freaking button, too, a whole bunch of cars are gonna start coming by. Rah, rah, rah. We just gonna do it. You know why? Because today is the solar plexus chakra video talking about confidence, willpower, and the ability to do. Okay? The mantra for the solar plexus chakra is I do. You're taking the I am and the I feel, and you're putting that together to be able to create something. This is actually where your manifestations are coming. Also, where your womb is located, right in that belly button area, aka your stomach, where all of your internal organs are, to be able to have your body process things and flow and detox and no bars. The color for the solar plexus chakra is yellow. Okay, so if you're trying to raise your vibrations or heal your solar plexus chakra specifically, eating pineapples, lemons, turmeric powder, bananas, as well as herbal teas and detox teas, these can all be very beneficial. Um, Specifically the herbal and detox teas, because you have your liver, your colon, what's that little thing, gall bladder, I think that's what it is. You have all of that in your solar plexus, your stomach, and it's practically like the center of your body. It connects the lower chakras to the upper chakras. I mean, some people say that that's the heart chakra, but there's so much strength and like clear energetic intention that you need to have in order to have an aligned chakra. That that's why I feel like it requires so much stuff to be able to function properly. Okay, so there's an order to this that we will be getting into. Okay, cool, good, cool. So I said it says I do. It's a third chakra. It has to do with the element of fire. The sacral has to do with water. So solar plexus is fire, hence the term fire breathing. If you're able to breathe through your stomach instead of like your throat, um, or like intentionally through other body parts, if you can do that, then you will begin to like be in more of a connection with your body. You'll begin to, like, starting with that solar plexus, you'll be able to feel energetically what's going on everywhere else. So the solar plexus has to do with courage, has to do with confidence, power, manifesting whatever you want into reality, as well as your willful expression. Okay. So some ways that your solar plexus chakra is blocked is if you have a lack of confidence, if you're feeling inferior to a certain person, place, or thing. It also has to do with Maslow's hierarchy of needs as well. If you're not giving yourself like the basic human requirements to live, like a comfortable place to like keep your body, aka your home, internally and externally, um, eating good foods to be able to like nourish your gut as well as your mind and body connection. Um, and if you're not surrounding yourself with like good community, um, if you're surrounding yourselves with people who's like draining your energy all the time, then it creates this like energetic imbalance or energetic codependency. So it would be wise to kind of get all of those base things, those root things situated before moving further. Let us see. It also has to do with ignorance or someone's ego as well. Um, when I think of solar plexus, I think of Leo. That's the pride that comes out of you when you are either defending yourself, just being as a person, or setting out to like inform people, communicate. The ego is what begins to come out, right? But you are practically letting your ego subside more if you are like overly ignorant to things that could aid you outside of you, and things that could like benefit you moving forward. if you think this is like a one-man show practically, and like nobody else is in it or important, then that's probably going to reflect into your reality as you just being a lonely, right? So we want to go ahead and not do that, because you may say that you like to be alone, and I feel like everyone likes to be alone, but in moderation. Okay, you don't want to go ahead and keep leaving yourself susceptible to isolation and saying it's because you're a loner, and now you're like genuinely depressed and a funky fart of an old person. Ciao. With a unhealed solar plexus chakra as well can come a lot of emotional dependency, kind of like relying, and that's the thing. That's the thing about ignorance. It allows you to think that you're the driver. But if you're not actually genuinely being open and real with yourself about what's going on around you, you're not even going to peep or realize that you're so codependent on the things around you to survive. You may like have that lack of confidence and genuinely asking people around you how you should live or how you should be. And if you're not doing that, then you're kind of just like a quiet, closed off port that is now, because energy is not moving anywhere, it's susceptible for other people to take a hold of and take advantage of. Okay. So it's this thing where the purpose of life is really coming into fruition with the solar plexus chakra. If you're not doing anything, then what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Cool, cool, cool. Per. Let's see. The symptoms caused by the blockages. So going like deeper into what will happen if you let your chakra stay blocked for too long. This is what you can begin to see show up in your physical reality. So one thing is poor digestion. Um, because okay, so one thing about the solar plexus, it does have to do with fire. It does have to do with Leo, and a Leo, they have to do with pride. They have to do with confidence. They have to do with embodying the essence of themselves. And when they're not confident in what they're setting out to do in this life, or confident in themselves, just on a general basis, this will probably result in a almost like a swording in on yourself, like becoming a shell of what you once were. You'll begin to see Leos have like a hunch, kind of like be hunching over, not sitting up straight, um, and them kind of having like a lot of tenseness up in their shoulders, and they're just slouching. Is what I'm trying to get at, because they don't. They're in that moment. They're feeling purposeless instead of purposeful. They're feeling a lack of confidence instead of confidence. They are misdirected, misaligned, and it shows up in their body. I feel like the reason why it's like that for Leo specifically is because they have such big hearts. And so if they're not like mentally aligned with their heart, or if their heart is too bogged down by emotions in order to be able to fully function, their big ass chest area, their chest plate, it just begins to recede on itself. Because what is there to look up at? What is there to actually walk and chase? Nothing. So you begin to like literally degenerate, and that's why you see some Leos. It's kind of crazy. You can like tell a Leo out in public if they have like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and that can also indicate if they're depressed or not. But that's neither here nor there. You can also experience a lot of gas. And this is because your liver and your other functions in your stomach are working double time, possibly overtime, because of what you're putting inside of your body. So, in order to heal your sacral chakra, sacral is crazy. In order to heal your solar plexus chakra, you cannot solely focus on like the root work. This also, you have to be so intentional with healing your chakras. But specifically with the solar plexus, like I said, because it has to do with the gut and it has to do with the liver and digestion in your body, what allows you to feel clear, clean, and open enough to put your energy somewhere. Because if not, you're just going to be sitting there drained. Um, yeah, your body will be messed up and it'll start making you just like really gassy, really like foggy in the head, and not wanting to do anything because you're just low. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, interesting. let's see. Abdominal pain. Okay, so this could be like literal, like there's like layers to your abs, to your stomach. So I'm not just talking about the first layer of the abs, but you can literally get like cramps in your stomach. You could like get gurgles in your body, but not feel hungry or desire any certain food. That's like an indication that your body is telling you to stop eating those artificial foods, to stop packing yourself and stuffing yourself with things to distract yourself from your unhappiness and begin facing it. Like your body, your gut, your intuition, it's screaming at you to do these things. And the more that you're clean, eating wise, mentally, and in alignment with yourself, the more that you have these like clean thoughts and a clear reason for living and existing, right? But when you don't treat your body right, when you don't treat your vessel, your temple right, that is here to protect your soul, to experience life, to learn these lessons, to integrate them and grow past them. If you're not taking it seriously, if you're not taking your body seriously, you're not taking yourself seriously, then girl, life ain't gonna take you seriously. Point blank, period. Yeah. What is? There could be lots of like weight fluctuation as well. You not being able to really have a pin on where your weight is at the current moment, because it is only determined by either A, your mood, or B, what you're eating. This is so important. Like I keep getting back into that because it is definitely important for sure. And then also, oh my God, there's so much, guys. Constipation, bloating, nerve pain, nausea, respiratory issues. Um, mm. And all of these symptoms, to where people would be like, "Oh, I'm sick. I need to go to the doctor. I'm not healthy." Blah 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 blah. It's because they're not eating right. It's because they're focused on negative shit, sitting in their rooms. Like they literally 12:21 could be significant, but people get up, do their 9 to 5s every day, go back home, take care of their children or their animals. They eat their food, they do their night routine, they're sitting in that bed, they go to sleep, they wake up, they do that shit all over again every single day, right? Where was I getting at with that? Like, really, be for real. Um, yeah. So, like, if you're doing that every day, 9 to 5, and you're like putting your body through that, like, that labor without any rest, without any realization that you need balance in your life, you're just going to keep doing that over and over again and eventually become a workhorse that just like gets tired down and broken down. Okay. So, anyways, this is why this is important. Um, It is connected to the liver, like I've been saying, the pancreas, the stomach, the colon, that's the one I forgot, and the pancreas, right? So if these things are not in check, um, you can literally experience infertility, like the literal lack of the ability to reproduce in this lifetime, whether that be children or whether that be creative things. It's almost going to be impossible because you do not have confidence in yourself to even take care of yourself. You do not believe that it is possible, and that's why you're laying there and slowly, low key dying. Okay. Um. Anyways, child. So, how can we really get out of this? If you're stuck in the rut already and you feel like nothing is possible, the only thing that you probably thought was possible was coming to this video to be able to educate yourself a little bit further, right? So, one thing about confidence is repetition. 1414. If you're able to repeat something, it gives you internal confidence to be able to set forth to do it again. You won't, like, for example, creating music. How are you supposed to say that you're like a music god, or that you create music, or that you're a musician, if you've never taken the steps to learn the DAWs systems? If you're not taking the time to learn the DAW systems, if you're not taking the time to study your craft, or like what intention you're trying to put out into the atmosphere, if you're not even giving yourself the time in your daily schedule to begin going towards music, like it's just not gonna work, child. You gotta start like you gotta start moving. You gotta start doing. You gotta start feeling around in order for things to begin making sense. Um, so yeah, it's the same thing as like doing repetitions with a workout. Okay, you're not gonna gain muscle within your body if you're not moving your muscles. Period. Okay, guys. So we're gonna get into the healing for this. How do we heal the solar plexus chakra? So to begin, you want to go ahead and embrace core. Okay, you want to strengthen your core because, like I said, the core to you is your core. You're not gonna have an apple if the apple doesn't have a core. You're gonna have probably apple slices and a up human as well. Okay. So doing core workouts, y'all. People don't like it when I say this, but it's so official tissue. So just go ahead and do it real quick. Chloe Ting is that bitch. Chloe Ting will get you right. Literally like a 2-week core and abs program. And you're not only working out your core, but your entire body to be able to feel energized and feel confident within yourself because you're losing that weight. You're skimming that fat. You're moving your body. And it's something that's simple and can be repeated every single day for you to know that you can do it. And she is such a good coach, too. Okay. Maple syrup could be significant. Something about sugar. Maybe lay off the sugar. Maybe lay off the sugar. Okay. Anyways, another way to heal is solar breathing. So this is practically like fire breathing. And that is kind of like stirring up the energy within your core um, to get your energy moving, get your thoughts moving, get your mind, heart, and intentions moving as well. So, like a regular breath would be just a simple in and out of your breath, right? But fire breathing is kind of controlling, contracting, and like pushing out the energy that you feel within your body. So it's kind of aggressive. It kind of looks crazy too when you try to do it, but it's just aggressive breathing, low key, but with a tempo if you can, right? So I love how I'm doing this breathing and like the background is like reacting to it. That's how powerful your solar plexus chakra is. Like if you think of like Storm, she takes her gut, her emotions, her like genuine feelings, and then she puts them out into the ethers. Okay, if she mad, girl, it's gonna start thundering. It's gonna start pouring. Don't quit her. Okay, but we are literally like that. We are X-Men. We have the ability to be able to like control the weather around us via our emotions if we understand how to control our energy and put it into something or push it out into something. Okay. Um, so then we also have sun gazing as well. You may feel actually pretty drained after sitting in the sun, especially if it's like a really hot day. You may feel like, like the dogs be doing to get the air. But we are divine solar energetic beings. Okay. So if you're sitting at home rotting all day, that's going to be your result. If you're going outside, if you're getting energized through the actual rays of energy that comes from the sun, that not only energizes us, but the literal life force around us, the plants. Okay. The opposite of the sun is the moon, which has to do with the pull of the oceans and the water, right? You can't just be a water being, okay? We're made of lots of things. We're cosmic, okay? So we also have to keep into consideration that the solar energy around us energizes us as well. And actually, after a while, you'll get used to that as well. You'll be able to feel a certain, you'll literally feel a certain energy coming from the sun once you open up yourself enough to its rays, okay? Because I feel like before you get into that, before you get comfortable doing that, it's kind of like that vampire shit where you're just kind of like, the sun, like, yeah, you're like low-key hissing at it because you haven't been you haven't gotten used to it. You're not used to the energy that moves and flows life. You're kind of sitting there and you're staying stuck for a long time, and that's the result, I feel like. Okay. So, next, another thing to do to be able to heal your chakra is to journal. Um and this is because I keep going back to Leo because I feel like that's its chakra at this point, but it's kind of this thing where Leos will just be like standing confidently in whatever they're doing. They standing on business, period. The issue with that is that ignorance, the ego that I'm talking about, right? So if you're too much in your ego, if you're too much in like ignorance, if you're too confident in yourself, you're going to begin experiencing this thing where your reality is not aligning with how you feel about yourself. And then your reality is then going to begin humbling you because you are not moving simply in alignment. Like you can be a D head like Trump, right? And you can kind of just move out and do whatever you want. Because he's in alignment with his Delulu ass energy, it's happening. It's moving. People are aligning with that because there's some other nuts out there that kind of agree to what he's doing. That's why he's not being stopped right now. But if he was not to be confident in himself, um, we wouldn't see all of this be happening right now. We would kind of be seeing him sitting down and things continuing to be moving in a forward direction. But because his desire, because his willpower, because his ability to get up and speak and put things into action and move things around the way he thinks it should be, it's happening in our reality and we can't do shit about it. It's kind of crazy. Oh no. The rain. The motherfucking rain. They're trying to do everything in their power to get me to not do this video. Girl, we're doing the fucking video. Okay. Whether we gotta be out here all day or not. Burr. Burr. I'm like a dick. I'm actually not a dick, but I'm very much Leo-esque in the realms of like, if you're embarrassing me, I'm just gonna act like it didn't happen, ho. Okay. Yes. So the journaling kind of allows you to sit with your ego as well as your emotions in one breath. You're writing down ego, right? How you feel emotions genuinely inside. If your emotions is, oh, I'm not hurt, that ain't hurt me, I'm chilling, I'm doing whatever, then those emotions will never get processed and you're going to continue to block your chakra as things that come up that would potentially trigger you to do that again is going to bring you toppling right back down to that place where you thought you could never be again. So this is why root work is very important, and it starts kind of like with the journaling. You can journal to align with your inner feelings. Next, the gut cleanse. Okay, there is so many natural herbs out there that you can use to cleanse your body. I don't think we really stress enough how important it is to cleanse your body and your chakras. Okay, you genuinely, you don't even know the potential and the fruits of life if you have been eating ramen noodles and little Debbie cakes for your everyday meal every fucking day for your entire life. You don't even know what life is like, girl. Have you touched a vegetable? um, yeah, it's gonna create a very cranky person. It's gonna create a person who is low key stuck in the matrix because you do not have enough energy to function your own brain to make the proper decisions in life for you. You're moving along with the wrong kind of tides. You're not taking this life and making it your own. It's okay to like be in community, take care of community, prioritize community, but not if you are an empty vessel within that community. Why are you even there, girl? Anyways, so another thing you could do is chewing your food slowly, okay? And also chewing your food enough. I'm on a fast right now. So if I were to just like jump right out the gate, going ahead and doing my, if I were to after this fast just go ahead and just start shoving shit down my throat, not eating with intention, um, I'm most likely going to eat either raw foods that is not in alignment with my sensitive stomach at that point, or I'm going to be eating artificial foods that is going to put my body right back where it was before I started. Okay. So, chewing your food enough and chewing it slowly is going to allow you to, number one, eat with intention. Number two, feel what's going into your body when you're full and when you've had enough. A lot of people eat and become addicted to eating because they don't know how to temper their desires, their own energy. They don't have a reason for doing what they do. And so when they're feeling these voids inside of them, when they're feeling this like insecurity inside of them, they run to things that will just fill them up. Like, oh gosh, ew. Sorry, I just had a moment, but um, when you're sitting at home, you can pick up energies around you that aren't even your own. So a energy that will not only cleanse your external environment but your internal um, ecosystem is 528 hertz frequencies, specifically on the solfeggio scale. Um, it or gallbladder meditations as well. Both of those things are pretty helpful, and hearing the frequency will allow you to more quickly get aligned with breathing in and out intentionally into the gut, into the stomach. Um, Knowing what goes in and out of your gut is so important, y'all. I can't stress it enough, bro. Anyways, so there's an order to this, like I said in the beginning, and I'm gonna get into that right now. So the step one to rebuilding your sacral chakra. I keep saying sacral because they sound similar, but the first thing is digestion, right? So doing that water fast at least for 3 days so that your body can go on a reset, so that it can enter ketosis to be able to cleanse all that nasty shit that has been sitting up in your pancreas and your gut for I don't even know how many years, y'all. Especially if you be eating the artificial bioengineered food products and ramen noodles, like years that shit could be sitting in your gut. But anyways, that's step number one. After that, you need to like go ahead and like find foods that align with you, not just fruit and vegetables, but foods that you can enjoy that are actually natural and organic, that will make your body feel good, that will have you get up every single day and not have you looking or searching for something to just fill your cravings, but something that will actually nurture you and give back to you as much as you're giving back to it, right? The next thing is your core. So after you're fixing your diet, you want to go ahead and make sure you have a good routine. Even if you're not working out every day, you need to have a strong core. So working out on a daily, getting that routine to be able to get that together, right? Um, and strengthening your body, because one thing about it is once your chakra, the solar plexus, begins to even open up, bruh. Um, sorry. Once your chakra begins to open up, you literally have to go all the way back down to the root to be able to, like, like have it continue to function. So like you're going up 1, 2, 3, and then it's like, okay, right back down. How are we gonna fix this? Based on what we know about ourselves now, right? So training your core is going to allow you to have strength to strengthen the rest of your body. You need to have strong hips. You need to have a strong ass. Yes, literally. And you need to be able to have strong legs and knees to be able to carry out the things that you want to do every single day. Okay. And third is your posture. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're training yourself to be able to like sit up straight, walk straight, align your back. You may have a misaligned spine. Go ahead and get a what's that called? What's that called, girl? A chiropractor. I go to a Reiki healing massage person because she's cute, and she doesn't really get in there, but she tells me energetically what's wrong with my body. to be able to tackle it both emotionally and physically. So fuck your chiropractor, bitch. Right? Right? So back to the core. The core is, what is your purpose? Okay. What are you giving your time and energy to? Which is the mantra for the solar plexus chakra, which is I do. If you don't have a purpose in life, if you don't have an intention in life, that may be cool for a while. Like, oh yeah, I'm just chilling, floating on this rock. But if you're really just like here to float forever, it's gonna start manifesting as that. Your brain will literally start deteriorating because there's no purpose for it. You will literally start having reproductive issues because your body is signaling to you that you have no purpose for it. You will begin being stuck in your lower chakras, your root and your sacral chakra, and the only things you'll be living for is to eat, sleep, and fuck. What a great life. Like, I don't know. That's why I'm here, y'all. And I feel like it's time to figure out in life what your intention for being here is. And if you don't know, then that's exactly what this freaking chakra is for. Get your ass up and do it and find out what you really want to do. Okay? Sorry, I got a little passionate and then people started walking. I feel like that was my signal. Is that it? That was a lot, girl. um this all has to do with you. This journey has to do with you. The level of confidence that you have doesn't have to do with a single person outside of you. It has to do with how you view yourself. But an important thing to realize is that if you're not being open with yourself, if you're not being real with yourself about what you really want, about how you really motherfucking feel, and about what you think you should be doing, then yeah, all those other people are going to be the center of your world, and you will not have one for yourself. So this is really taking back your power. This is taking back your confidence. This is taking back your life source energy, your ability to create your own life and why it's here in the first place. Okay? So I feel like I could really just get into this. I could get into it. And I usually also follow these videos with the meditation practice afterwards. But because they're getting a little bit long, I may make a part 2 to this and then attach it to this video. Okay. So if you guys like this message, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe her. Get into it. Share some of your own solar plexus or confidence tips that you use to be able to stay aligned with yourself. And yes, thank y'all so much for your time, energy, essence, and effort. I love y'all. Have a good day. Make good choices. Bye.